Hello, welcome back to another episode of Nourish Your Brand. I'm Aiza, your host and the brand chef from Studio Koya, and in the show I serve up what your business craves to help you turn it into a brand that you're super confident and super proud of. We're talking strategies, insights, and golden nuggets of wisdom to nourish your brand and attract and connect with your dream clients and customers. So, I am a couple days late with my podcast today because I was actually house hunting on Tuesday, but I thought I would go ahead and do it anyway, even though we were a couple days late. So what happened on Tuesday was house hunting, and it actually gave me the inspiration for this episode. We went to lunch, went to a Vietnamese restaurant and had pho. So if you don't know what pho is rice noodles in soup, and it's a very hearty, comforting, warm bowl of soup noodles that just made me think of how branding evokes feelings and experiences. And basically, there's a lot of parallels between noodles and branding. So I wanted to talk about the emotions, the connections that branding can bring to you and your clients and your customers. So how do we create these emotional connections? So it's not just building or getting your branding done and then leaving it as is and then that's it. It's the first thing that came to mind was it's about storytelling. So if you think about storytelling as like that rich flavorful broth that forms like the base of your soup noodles, that's the thing that like holds everything together. So it's like your brand story that should weave in your vision, your purpose, your values, and it also gives your audience a reason to care. So when you share your journey, your challenges that you faced, and like anything that you celebrated, it becomes personal and it becomes relatable. And that's how you start to get that emotional connection and build that deeper connection with your clients and customers. So a practical tip, like where do you start? I've talked about this before in the one of the earlier episodes. I think it's the first one with the 2 core ingredients. It's about your brand story. So you can highlight like where you came from, what challenges you've had to overcome, and the milestones that you've taken to get here, and also continuing to share your journey along the way. So make it personal, use real anecdotes like I have today with my pho that I went to have on Tuesday. Share your experience as well, like show your audience the human side of your brand, and that's how you can deepen that connection. The second thing to think about is personalization. So it's like adding the different toppings to your soup noodles. Each person like will add different types of things in there to make them really satisfying for themselves. Like I would add lots and lots of vinegar to my soup noodles because I love vinegar in my soup noodles. Some people might like to add sriracha, like the hot sauce. It really depends on what the individual likes. So in branding, it's the same. If you understand your clients' preferences and their behaviors, then you can tailor your products and services and communication to meet their specific needs. So you can update your products, update your services in a way that aligns with what they're looking for and what their taste is. So practical tips on this bit is if you have any close touch points with your clients, it's always good to ask them why. Why have they connected with you? How did they find you? And what was it that made them come to you? Maybe you hop on a call with them. Maybe you ask them via email. You can even see what they've bought previously to see if there are any correlations. And then that's how you can pinpoint those little things that you might want to change and update your branding, update your services, update your experiences to make it a little bit more personal for them. So it doesn't have to be like every single individual person gets like a very different experience from you. It's more seeing them little, I guess, commonalities to bring it together and see like if there's anything that you can change and update to make it even more personal, even more exciting for them, and makes them feel understood and makes them feel heard. And then the third thing for building an emotional connection is about consistency. So I have talked about consistency in quite a few of my episodes already, but it's such a key part to branding. Like when you visit a noodle shop, you want your bowl, your order to be the same every time. You want the experience to be the same because that's what you're going for, right? Like if you order a certain thing, you want it delivered to you in a certain way. So it's the same in branding. It's all about building trust and reliability. So when your brand consistently delivers on what you promise, it reinforces the identity and makes it more memorable, and people will come back to you for the same experience over and over and over again. It doesn't necessarily always just have to be about the brand experience. It also can be the visual identity as well, right? I've said to build some brand guidelines, and I think this is where the consistency matters as well. So like where you use your logo, your color palette, your typography, those things, and the templates that you use in your socials, those things would then also reinforce your branding and also reinforce the type of connection and how someone relates to you in a visual way. So review your brand materials and your customer interaction, so both of those things, just to ensure like the constant consistency is maintained. So that's how the three things that you need, so storytelling, personalization, and consistency. Those are the three things that you can use to help build those emotional connections with your audience. I wanted to give you a couple of examples as well. So I'm going to use juice here as an example. So we've got the brand Innocent Smoothies. So if you don't know, Innocent Smoothies, juice brand, really fun branding. It has a sense of like friendliness and playfulness, and it's like they bring through like the warm connections through this fun playfulness and almost like interaction with customers as well. They try to bring that into their packaging, into their advertising, and even into some of their campaigns that they do as well. I remember they every year they do like a knitting one, so they put little hats on their bottles, and people knit and then send them in. So like those things build that connection and builds a really warm connection with their audience. So Innocent Smoothies is one. And then the comparison that I wanted to give you is Capella Juice. So this juice, their packaging, they look a little bit more premium. They have a very special shaped bottle and it screams like natural. So it's natural goodness, high quality ingredients, almost slightly traditional because of the look and feel that they have. So it's a little bit more sophisticated and a bit less playful than Innocent Smoothies, but it still brings across that warm, wholesome feeling, even though the branding is completely different. So it just shows you how you can build connections and stir up those emotions, same emotions, in people in different ways. So building an emotional connection with your audience is like crafting that perfect bowl of soup noodles. So it takes time, takes care, and the right ingredients, but if you do it right, it creates an experience that your audience will come back to again and again. So what it comes down to is what emotions you want to evoke and how you want to get there. So those are the two parts when you're building or when you're trying to figure out what you want to do in terms of creating those connections. It's like, what emotions is it? And then what do I do, or how do I get there with my branding? And if you need help, my brand prep talk, which is a one-to-one, is the perfect way to get clarity on the what. And then my brand kitchen, I'll actually take you through both the what and the how. So if you want my help, just pop me a message and we can have a chat to see if it's a right fit for you, and I'll let you know like which one's a good fit and if either of those are a good fit for you. So this is it for this episode of Nourish Your Brand. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode and want more insights, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter at studiotokoya.com/newsletter. And until next time, keep nourishing your brand and build those connections, and I'll chat with you in the next episode. Bye.